feel like if he gets that victory, he's going to get in PSYGIB's head a little bit with maybe some popping off, and very subtle popping off too, but just enough to maybe throw PSYGIB off his game. But we're going to get into it. Map number 1, this is going to be Ruins, and we're going to see how this goes as PSYGIB starts off with the Visor and the Heavy, popping the Vision immediately to try and track down NOSFA.
Yeah, any kind of defensive play that he had to make there in case from the high ground, NOSFA fancied just jumping onto him completely. It doesn't have to be too cautious of that threat anymore, but they might see each other over at the shotgun spawn. There's going to be 2 rails from PSYGIB straight away, looking for a third, going up close range. Needs to make that switch over to a different weapon, but going for the vertical shots will break away, but knows he's done some good damage to NOSFA. However, this has led to him losing out on the heavy armor. He'll have to make a play for the Mega Health instead.
Pops the Vision and he has the Megas to his back, and he's tracking NOSFA yet again, adding a little bit of a delay and also making sure that NOSFA doesn't get around the corner and get over antsy, overzealous, and had the rockets ready for his face here. As again, we see NOSFA kind of setting up shop down in the Heavy. Those totems are so dangerous down there. It could be an absolute cesspool. PSYGIB moving in, though, needs to be careful. There's one rocket, a little bit of LG from NOSFA. Grabs the Heavy, but at what cost? A lot more LG. NOSFA very weak right now, and the rail will miss. Escaping with his life for the time being. That was close.
PSYGIB's hitting very hard at the moment, actually. There was some good fortifications set up in that room, but PSYGIB was penetrating through everything. And we were talking about the aggression and the defensive plays that we might see. NOSFA was down in that heavy armor room for quite a while. I think he's quite happy to, anchor down.
Missed rail there from both players. PSYGIB still looking for more, as is NOSFA, but nothing landing. A little bit of preemptive rockets just in case to keep him out, and that totem will actually be taken out. Face-checking totems never hurts as long as you get rid of them. That stack is pretty big. That rocket is pretty huge. Into the LG, the totem will heal him up as well. 46 HP, and PSYGIB on the run. Defensive rockets coming out to try and stop the chase.
There's a lot of respect for those defensive rockets, which I'm appreciating. NOSFA does not want to be the one to make that mistake, running into that one direction and all of a sudden totally swing the tide of the game. So he's going to back away, say, okay, maybe I can win that control game a bit more, or at least punish the control that PSYGIB's trying to get. But we got a piercing sight rail, and it's, no, NOSFA.
I love the shimmy there from PSYGIB, baiting out the rail, making sure he doesn't take that damage, but he will take that Mega. Still tied at 0, 230 in. But both players looking pretty strong here. The stack advantage slightly in favor of PSYGIB here as he's taking out yet another totem, and he needs to keep doing that. He can't let the totem economy get out of control. He can't give up that overstack to NOSFA.
Is there going to be a drop? I'm not sure if there'll be a drop anymore. He did his detective work. He comes down just to say hello. He has that perfect timing anyway, and so if he could just maybe get a bit of chip damage off. It is going to allow NOSFA to get onto the Mega Health. PSYGIB in for a late challenge. If there's any exit damage available, it's going to be a no for now. But he has got connector position in case NOSFA wishes to push.
Ooh, good rail from down below there by NOSFA. PSYGIB won't have vision for 30 seconds. NOSFA trying to wait about 10 seconds on that totem. Is going to grab some shards, and that's going to come back a lot quicker here as they meet right by the rockets. Rockets exchange from both players. PSYGIB extremely weak. Getting the worse end of the stick on that.
Yeah, those totems appearing as well, and it's like, okay, there's more mines to watch out for. The healing up, of course, is going to make life difficult. NOSFA being in a very good position, he's going to be looking to close out First Blood in the next 30 seconds. I'd like to say before Mega Health spawns, but we'll have to see what PSYGIB does with his defense. NOSFA knows that Piercing Sight has been popped. PSYGIB's using this to hopefully defend the Mega Health, but he can't quite prevent NOSFA from making it up to the top. Rail from NOSFA misses. He has the slightly easier route still to the Mega.
And PSYGIB's so fortunate to stay alive there.
I think so.
Also needs to be a bit paranoid. You can't just run around that weak with totems sticking out. So he's playing very, very cautiously out here in the courtyard. He's going to grab the 50 shard once you know it's safe. Try and stack back up here. NOSFA on the chase, goes through the telly, a little bit of rockets. There's the rail, 50 HP, and just like that, PSYGIB down again. There is the vision popped. Now he's going to try and stay away again. Feels NOSFA coming in. There's the LG, and NOSFA will finally get the first frag, 430 in.
I think PSYGIB realized that the end was nigh. He just had to try and get as much damage as he possibly could. He'd been made a good effort at running away, but now he resets with a little bit of stack, has to get weapons, and immediately is able to challenge onto the heavy armor, so he might be able to come back in this game fairly soon. NOSFA has mega health behind him. He's close to getting those triple totems again. PSYGIB definitely going to need to be on the ball, as you were mentioning earlier, eliminating that totem economy. Otherwise, NOSFA's powers will just increase.
NOSFA dropping down after PSYGIB. PSYGIB taking his leave up the jump pad here, and that's going to be a free heavy for NOSFA. Again, throwing down that totem, trying to keep that economy up. He's got 38 seconds till the next one with those shards. That's going to be even quicker. Good tri-bolt there from PSYGIB. Good positioning there. The rocket's actually going to boost NOSFA around the corner a little bit more. Tri-bolt. LG on LG as they fight for the Mega. The Mega's going to go to PSYGIB, 13 HP, and NOSFA's in a bad way here. Somehow stays alive with 1 HP, but the machine gun finally takes him out. But he did such good damage. PSYGIB's going to be quick to restack now. 50 armor, 62 HP as he makes his way back down to the heavy. And he gets a free totem kill out of that. That's going to be huge. Again, melting those totems as best he can. But we're tied at 1 Zoot about 6 minutes in.
Can't help but think that was a little bit too close. You just expect NOSFA to hit those kind of shots eventually. But PSYGIB looking pretty good suddenly. NOSFA is weak. This is a great chance for PSYGIB to push this advantage if he can lock down the position that NOSFA has. He is up at that light armor that he was just gazing upon. But without that piercing sight, you don't have that exact certainty. You can't as easily take the risks to move away from the items to push that advantage the same way. So he's going to play it safe, keep that control going. He does still have to be aware. All this time, NOSFA could be setting up shop with those totems. He could be setting up a trap to get onto one of the major items. PSYGIB has to be extra alert.
There's the vision pop. He has all the data, but he's going to drop down. There's one totem. There's some rockets, and that was not the way PSYGIB envisioned that going. He is going to get the 50 shard out in the courtyard here. With 7 minutes, we're going to be tied at 1 for a little bit longer. There's the push. Again, aggression from PSYGIB. Great rockets as well. Can't land one of the last ones. There's the rail peek over. The LG, he hits it. Can NOSFA get it? One more. 30 HP for PSYGIB. Both players bleeding internally. Oh. And there's the rail from PSYGIB. He's going to take the lead 2-1 and the Mega.
The Mafia boss is striking. Oh, real opportunity there for another kill, but he's going to be able to get the heavy armor, so still looking fantastic. Has got the piercing sight now. Is he going to go for the push? Try and extend that advantage. Only 75 HP for NOSFA. That rail won't quite connect as NOSFA darts around the corner. There's a totem put down.
Overstack, and that's huge again. Bailing him out. He
has to find those other totems, or if he wants to fully reap the benefits, and PSYGIB denies it just in time as NOSFA was running towards that totem at the bottom of the LG jump pad.
Good rail there from NOSFA. Needs to get a couple more of those. As PSYGIB doing a good job of immediately going to the shards, and the armor shard gets that vision again, knows exactly where NOSFA is and can play accordingly. Totem goes down for NOSFA. There's a missed rail. That is going to be huge here. 2-1. PSYGIB waiting patiently for this heavy.
It has been a hyper-strategic game, it feels like. It's low scoring, a lot of respect between the two players, and you expect it between the gents that we've got in front of us, and also where we are in the tournament.
Have to be completely perfect with your play. Have to respect your opponent. Can't get too crazy. There's the LG. NOSFA trying to force the fight here, forcing PSYGIB back down the jump pad into the heavy area. 5 seconds. Mega's going to be shortly after. NOSFA's going to push in. This is going to be a frag for somebody, and it looks like PSYGIB is cashing in 2 quick rockets, and NOSFA's down by 2 with a minute left. It just got infinitely harder. Could catch him out. Can the tri-bolt do it? The LG from PSYGIB isn't going to land the rocket switch. 28 HP. NOSFA needs to chase. 1 minute left. He does get the Mega. That's going to help with his stack, but again, frags are necessary at this point.
He has to just go at the moment. He's getting the weapons, lightning guns there. If he goes for the heavy armor, then he's really playing with fire with the amount of time that there's left. PSYGIB's now 100-100. And NOSFA, you've got to do something crazy. We know what your style is like. He's got to bring that out completely, show the kind of mechanical skills that he's got available to him. Pushing in now with the lightning gun, doing a lot of damage. He's got to take those risks, but the mega health now taken by PSYGIB, and he will defend his position successfully. 4-1 now for the American.
NOSFA was stuck in this awful position of, okay, I have to rocket jump up, I have to push through a choke point, and you have Mega behind you. It was just dire circumstances there, and PSYGIB's going to walk away with this one 4-1 in the map number 1. But wow, that was a really close game at first. Very
I dare say the whole way still down to that fight at the Mega Health.
But you could see NOSFA is not happy with that.
No.
The same way that he could pop off and become very confident, he can kind of bruise a little bit, and hopefully he doesn't get in his own head. He needs to be able to shake that off going into the second map, but you could see the disappointment on his face there.
Yeah, he's got to dig deep and focus moving into Awoken. I think, you know, he's up against it with the champion picks, but he's someone who has a big spark of energy on that map. We'll move to that over very shortly. We've still got some highlights over here. I think these guys were playing a very smart control game. I was scared for a while for PSYGIB because he wasn't getting rid of the totems as fast as I had hoped. But after a while, he was super attentive. He was putting on great pressure with the damage, and he was just kind of blocking out NOSFA from being able to play the game that he wanted.
Yeah, and if we take a look at the weapon accuracy and the stats for that map, PSYGIB doing a great job. Again, control was kind of split. It was a little bit late for PSYGIB, getting down to that heavy a little bit. And it is, you know, to his credit, it is the biggest place for totems. The jump pad right around the pillars for the heavy. It could just be the biggest trap possibly on Ruins of playing against a Galena. So he did a good job of sussing that out and getting rid of the totems and kind of establishing better control of the heavy and not letting it spiral out of control towards NOSFA's favor.
Yeah, there was a couple of traps too that they said. There's one at heavy that he just had that really sneaky position where you're going down the stairs, you can't quite tell someone's so close to the heavy armor, and it's not an obvious spam position for rockets. And yeah, he ate those 2 rockets back to back, and at that point, that's when the game suddenly got incredibly difficult for NOSFA. We'll see now. It's to dig deep, to stay focused, not let any nerves or any pressure get to you, but it's all easier said than done.
Absolutely, especially playing on this stage in front of this many people in the Cathedral, added pressure. And then, again, NOSFA representing all of Brazil and South America. I know that he takes big pride in that, so that's even more pressure. But you got to let all of that go and just play your best Quake. Today is the day of championships, and you have to win it all. There it is. I'm going to run on stage and touch that right now. Do you think I'll get tackled by security? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Probably for more reasons.
Being a
than
caster doesn't matter.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't? I thought there was perks. NOSFA versus PSYGIB, map number 2.
Let's do this.
We're hopping into it right now on Awoken. It's going to be BJ and it's going to be Isaac.
Well, we'll be with NOSFA on the BJ to start with. He has got the heavy immediately. Quick little nail jump over. Smooth as you like. And, well, within 20 seconds, he's going to have the trifecta too. So, looking good with weaponry, but I probably can say the same for PSYGIB. And again, it's such a small detail, but using the nail gun to get rid of the turret, I like it. That's just efficiency right there. Need more of that.
More of that, please.
Could be a swap on the item. No, maybe not. He just gets that audio cue, decides to back away. He's got the heavy. And PSYGIB has to respect a little bit when you've got those dualies out. Great entry rail, and NOSFA, can he use this as leverage for an opportunity? 2 items coming up at the same time. They're going to butt heads here.
What a rail.
Wow, here's the dual-wield lightning gun too. 1-0 for NOSFA. That's the kind of start that he needed. He is usually on fire on a map like Awoken. Can he now reap some more advantages?
Dealing with the turret nicely there, as he heard in auto-lock. Good rockets from PSYGIB. Needs to be careful not to get forced through the telly there. What a rocket. The rail from NOSFA's good. Swap to LG as he grabs the heavy. Extremely weak. He'll dodge the rocket, not the second one, but he's still going to survive. Very close there from PSYGIB. Can't land the rockets he needs. NOSFA's going to go up 2.
He's got to stabilize a little bit on that control. Is his light armor going to be up? It is immediately on time for him. And then dual wield is going to get some respect in here, but the shotgun suddenly did a truckload of damage. And PSYGIB is now on the map.
That's why they call it the boomstick. There's a great rail. There's another follow-up. Can he hit the hat trick? And he will. PSYGIB putting on a show with that railgun, tying it at 2.
The rails are going to keep landing. Oh, he tries to get that spam on just as he goes up the bounce pad. No connection at the moment, but he's finding tiny pixels, and that's enough for him to pull the trigger again. The Mafia boss is angry.
one rocket. There's a great rail on top of the Mega there. NOSFA will claim that, make his way over to the rail. PSYGIB well aware of his positioning there. That's a great rail through the drive-through window there by NOSFA. The turret comes out. PSYGIB reeling, bleeding internally. 10 HP, needs to play hide-and-go-seek right now and just stay away. NOSFA smells blood in the water. He's going to drop with the LG. The turret is going to back him up with the tri-bolt, perfectly placed by the Brazilian.
Really smart weapon usage. And if the splash was too small, he could just keep on going with those dualies out. Rail, it's like it goes between his legs, and you can tell he really wants to be able to apply that added pressure. All these rails count for so much. The lead is fickle. He knows that heavy's going to be taken, getting a little bit of extra lightning gun damage in, but PSYGIB's going to back around elbow.
Just missing out on that rail opportunity there. That's going to be 2 missed rails that he's going to want back. A little bit of rocket spam from around the corner. He's going to jump and fully commit in. And that's actually going to give position to PSYGIB for the Mega. I don't know about that. NOSFA
he's shaking his head.
Position. Yeah, he's like, that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, because he's given up a lot with that. He's given up the Mega health. He's going to give up a light armor. I don't know if that light in LG room is actually spawning for a few moments. He's going to take another look here. He's up. Okay. That's something small for him, a small silver lining, but there's bigger items going over to PSYGIB, which he's got to be very cautious of.
Ooh, that's a good rail into dual LG. Can PSYGIB hit the rockets he needs? He goes off the jump pad. One more rocket, 13 HP. He's trapped down in the corner. One rail, he's going to miss, and there's the shotgun again from PSYGIB. Rocket jumps up, and he's going to claim that Mega, and that was close. Tied at 3.
Yeah, big risk. PSYGIB wanted to bait out that rail shot. He knew as soon as he could avoid a rail, just by some good dodge, then he could go in with that super shotgun. Executes flawlessly on it. As you say, we're tied up, and well, PSYGIB looks to hold a small advantage on the control.
PSYGIB has to be feeling confident coming off that map 1 victory. Decent control, tie game. I'd say he has all the momentum. Look at that stack.
Huge. NOSFA is trying to find him, but we've got a jump on from PSYGIB. Doesn't take much damage and forces NOSFA away. Uh-oh, here comes the dual wield. PSYGIB suddenly might have to move back a bit. That Mega health is going to be up any second now. There's still going to be some pressure. Tri-bolt hits a little bit, but it's now about the Mega health. Good punishing rail shot from PSYGIB. The action will start to move towards the heavy armor. And I think that's a bit of a bother for NOSFA. He does get the rail back, and he can withstand one more, so PSYGIB has to be a bit more cautious. Oh, the rocket to rail shot. NOSFA will take the advantage, but it's so close between these two.
That was a beautiful combo there. So takes the lead. PSYGIB pushing into that T-Con, throwing that turret behind him, making him deal with it. There's a rail drop, and that's actually going to give up position on the Mega. Well done putting the pressure on NOSFA by PSYGIB. No rockets for NOSFA. This could be dangerous. Does have dual wield up. And there's the jump over. This could be crazy. Look at that float out of the map, and that was a bit careless from PSYGIB.
Oh, the LG was strong, and it was just enough to float him away. As you say, didn't need to make that move. He had to use a detective to work a bit harder. There's going to be the dual wield. Finishes it with the rockets. NOSFA doubling up the score of PSYGIB and looking good on Awoken. There is still action to be made. 4 minutes is plenty time for PSYGIB, but he's got to tighten that game up a little bit. Cannot let his position slip on these drops.
NOSFA trying to crack this wide open. I know he's the Brazilian, but right now PSYGIB's the one getting waxed here. 6-3 with 4 minutes left. NOSFA looking really strong. Lots of LG coming out. Good rockets, and that is not what you want to happen. 24 HP. PSYGIB barely surviving, and NOSFA, he's like, what just happened to me?
Those just
I used to exist.
I think they direct rocketed each other point blank.
Never been done before. Touching rocket tips. Has more rocket damage in the T-Con area. That's a great rocket at the jump pad there. But that actually helps PSYGIB a little bit, propelling him forward. Now he has an angle on the heavy. There's a rail missed opportunity. And PSYGIB still down 2 as we're inching closer to the 7-minute mark.
There's the push. Makes himself known. His stack's not good, so he can't overcommit to this position at all. He takes the rail, and that's, yep, see you later. And has to be careful once again. Great punishing blows. This is what PSYGIB was doing sort of for the mid-sector of the match, and now it's NOSFA, well, returning everything.
Anything you could do, I could do better, as he's just hitting all these rails from all these angles. PSYGIB doesn't even know where he's getting hit from anymore. Now he's stuck down by the drive-through window, taking that armor. He has to go make a decision. He's trying to fight upwards in the rail from above, right between the eyes. 6-3 for NOSFA, as he wants more off the spawn, missing with the rail, but he's going to back up into the Mega, popping dual wield for a little bit of insurance, making sure PSYGIB doesn't make any crazy plays and try and push into him.
Building a read on that area, but PSYGIB's going to be elsewhere on the map. 10 seconds to the heavy armor. Oh, a little peak rocket jump. I like that work from PSYGIB.
It was adorable, actually.
Asserts bit of control on the heavy, and in fact, this is a critical point in the game for PSYGIB to turn the control around. NOSFA's in a bit of trouble. There's the lightning gun. That's going to be a frag for PSYGIB. What a great series of plays from him. I do not think NOSFA was anticipating any of that.
No, he had the rail out. I think he was going to try and go up the jump pad, but then the aggressive play and the rail's not going to help you in that kind of close encounter. PSYGIB 28 HP. NOSFA doing a good job of pushing it back. Stacks are about even. 50 shard will go to PSYGIB. NOSFA trying to stack back up off the LG resources. And we're getting closer and closer, Zoot. A minute 40, down by 2. PSYGIB on the hunt right now. Tri-bolt from down below. Not going to land any damage, but he is going to get the heavy as he makes his way back to the Mega. Can he get it in time? He will get a rocket in the face right on time. And another one. Defensive rockets from NOSFA so strong as he's fighting for this Mega, and he will earn it.
Huge defensive rockets from NOSFA, securing the Mega health. That's going to make the next 20 seconds a little easier for him. And I think PSYGIB, that's the 10-second miss time there. That's very, very painful for him. Rails are starting to miss. Stack is getting low. Opportunities fading away. And he's low on ammunition. Rockets he'll get back. The lightning gun he won't be able to work with much with only 15 ammo. He sees the toes. But you're going versus Overstack. And I think his timing is broken, and this is hugely unfortunate, but I've got to hand it mostly to NOSFA's defensive plays. He might want to push in and sink the nail in deeper soon.
Opts to play passive for now. Heavy is coming up next. Miss rail from PSYGIB. The punish with the LG down to 22 HP, and the rocket in the back as he's too close for comfort. NOSFA 6-3, 30 seconds. Just needs to play it smart. That rail's going to help. And another one. PSYGIB has to push. There's the rocket jump up to the T connection, and there's a lot of LG coming out with the dual wheel, 39 HP. NOSFA will take that frag. 15 seconds left, and I think he has sealed his victory on this map, Zoot.
Brilliantly done. Again, great account from both players, but it's NOSFA who is able to last longer with those defensive plays, keep the timing going slightly more superior, and he is getting that victory over here. Beautiful stuff, NOSFA.
One more at the very end, just because. Just for a little bit more warm-up rail there. But yeah, the rail's really coming out for NOSFA when he needed them the most.
Definitely.
Look at that. Even that one early on in the game. And then the switch to LG. Never hurts to have two. Well done to NOSFA to kind of keep his head in the game after that first map and be able to take us to a third.
It looked like he was going to run away with it for the first couple of minutes because he built himself some great chances. Suddenly, PSYGIB comes in really hard. Amazing aim we're getting from him. His control was so powerful too. But then I think his timing faded away at the wrong moment, and NOSFA suddenly was punishing with these defensive rockets. If PSYGIB wanted to make a play, it just felt impossible. Oh, yeah, that was so nasty.
And this float, again, I can't help but think that was unbelievably careless from PSYGIB. I mean, no one expects to ride the lightning, but NOSFA was more than happy to escort him off the map. And yeah, just great play. That was unfortunate.
Fitting to get now a tiebreaker between them. I think we're seeing some quality stuff from these chaps.
So we are going to see Molten.
We are.
We are going to see a Sorlag. We are going to see a Strog.
Yes.
Do you feel like PSYGIB can put his Strog on a pedestal, his Strog and Peeker, like Dehang can? Do you expect those Peeker plays like we saw from Dehang earlier?
I think it's going to be a different style because of the map being so different to what we had earlier. In Corrupted Keep, you can make those kind of quick Peeker plays when someone's chasing you, and it's so fluid at that point that it can catch them off guard. I think
64% rail.
Wow.
Never hurts. Never hurts when you're hitting rail like that.
That is insane. Well, that's staggering. But I think moving towards Molten, I'm expecting slightly... The funny thing is there's high mobility between these champions, but I'm expecting a slower game significantly from what we had on Awoken, just because of the map layout and the fact that it's easy to run into trouble. So you want to end up doing the opposite. You're running around a lot, but you're not actually trying to meet the objective till you get the entry damage.
Yeah, and the stack on Sorlag can be huge if it gets out of control. If PSYGIB gives up too many items, he needs to be extremely careful not to let that dinosaur get too huge. Dinosaur, lizard? I don't know. Both?
Yeah, both.
Yeah,
I think it's the same family.
Right.
Right.
It's all the same. But this is going to be map number 3. NOSFA, PSYGIB on Molten. Who is going to move on to quarterfinals, as this is going to mean everything to these players. PSYGIB's going to start off at the Mega, sliding his way over to the LG. And it looks like NOSFA, I think, started Rail.
Yes.
Moving his way over to the LG slowly here. PSYGIB finally getting rockets. And usually you like to see a little bit of a trap set at the LG rocket area, but PSYGIB is more than happy to just give that up at the time being. There's a good rail, though.
Also at rail, I think it would be great to see traps there, because rail is the weapon I think that's going to benefit PSYGIB the most going versus Sorlag. Large target, running away, long angles, something he has to use hugely to his advantage. But at the moment, feeling each other out, getting a grip of the control, and seeing what your opponent's strategy might end up being. Do they want to play it tricky? Do they want to set up the traps?
Looks like both players very comfortable playing very slow for the time being. Here comes the peeker play. Just pestering right now, just hovering. He's going to go through, and then that's going to be some good damage. 75 on that one here as he misses the rail. There's the drop down the spit defensively here. PSYGIB's going to push with the shotgun, trying to get this frag. There's a great rail. NOSFA will grab the heavy, but so incredibly weak.
That heavy pickup couldn't have come at a better time. I believe the rail would have killed him had he not had that extra armor. PSYGIB definitely showing a better account of himself in the first minute and a half. Can he push and get himself a kill? NOSFA having to flee from this area. Oh, the rail at the end. NOSFA is strafing backwards to escape, but he is going to be licking his wounds. Heavy is up. There's 7 seconds until Mega. There's going to be a rocket jump back up. And PSYGIB, he is looking to have the entire map to himself.
Another missed rail from NOSFA there. You hate to see it, especially after such a strong rail game on Awoken. PSYGIB pushing through the banana slowly. There's the defensive spit, but he's got him trapped. The LG will melt that dinosaur in the corner. 2 minutes in, PSYGIB up 1.
That's the way to start, but we want to go for the refrag. This aggression, this not stopping at all. Rocket just skimming past PSYGIB's face. Now NOSFA's managed to equalize the stacks a little bit, and he gets a nice little jump spot to hit a rail. That is the mega health going towards Sorlag as we go to the quarter point of the game. He's also setting up a little better for the heavy armor. Let's see how PSYGIB wants to go towards this, because it's very different. You have to approach with caution when your stack is at this type of level. So here's the data, the discovery. Punishment on the drop, but NOSFA's still going to get himself to almost full natural stack.
As long as PSYGIB can keep dealing rails on some of these items here, I think he's going to be okay. Just want to keep Sorlag low. You don't want to let the stack get out of control. He needs to be careful not to slide into too much scale damage in terms of spit in the face. You don't want to get too up close and scaly with that dinosaur. There's a missed rail. 70 HP, 40 armor for PSYGIB. He's going to be able to grab a 25. Peeker is back up. But all in all, still a 1-frag lead. Relatively slow game. Here comes the dinosaur, making it a very, very fast and aggressive play. NOSFA for this frag, 57 HP as that Peeker gets dealt with nicely. There's the LG making a float off the map, and PSYGIB's like, I got a little something for you on this one.
Oh, that is brutal from NOSFA. His control was perfect, but he did what PSYGIB did on Awoken. They're both so weak. Shotgun is a great weapon to have out for PSYGIB. Heavy is now up. NOSFA has to have some respect, and he will pull away from the fight. But his health is still in a precarious position, only on 100, and PSYGIB now getting that overstack. Looking strong. He was gifted that frag. That is a big misstep for NOSFA.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate here as the Peeker gets popped, doesn't feel comfortable, gets rid of it. But he will feel comfortable with a 2-0 lead 4 minutes in. PSYGIB playing very slow. There's a rocket for information, a little bit of damage. Good return rail from PSYGIB. Stack is fantastic, and he's going to make his way over to the Mega to keep that control up. Almost has an opportunity at another rail. He's going to eat one, try and get at least another one. Sometimes one-shot-itis is crazy as NOSFA from behind gets a good rocket but pushes him into the Mega. Not that big of a deal.
NOSFA can start finding some lights. He's going to have a lot easier time trying to lead his way towards that overstack on one of these major items, because PSYGIB's really getting the better end of the stick on this, starting to guard this light armor. Is like, I know you want this, NOSFA. Now I'm going to take it from you.
Look at that, eats a rail, and he's like, okay, 50 shard, no problem. Keeps the stack up, PSYGIB doing a good job. Mega is up, there's the spit laid down on the Mega, and he's like, if you want this, you're going to get punished.
I think that was very passive from PSYGIB. I don't think it was a bad play, though. He was looking to make the punishment himself. He just couldn't execute on the shots the same way. NOSFA's going in hard. He lands the rocket at the beginning and just swoops under his feet.
Beautiful play there. Super aggressive. Nails the rockets he needs to. He's going to switch to rockets again. He wants to make magic twice. Deals with the peeker with the rail, but he's extremely weak. Down to 11 HP. He's going to drop. Mega's going to be up soon. Needs to be careful. PSYGIB knows it. 5 HP. He's going to escape after the heavy machine gun damage. That is one almost dead dinosaur.
It's going back and forth for the moment. I was afraid that PSYGIB just suddenly went too passive, and it looked like he flicked the switch again, and he said, right, no, let's be aggressive, let's get back into it. And we find him in control once more, in a brilliant position. There'll be a tiny bit of acid damage. Peeker won't go far.
Make that a lot after the peeker was popped. That's going to eat away at more health, but the Mega's going to be right there. That's a good rail from NOSFA, and now he's going to get out, trying to get in on this heavy. Grabs 125. Could catch him out. There's a great rocket right on top of the armor shard, but the LG is extremely strong. Another fantastic rocket. Can he switch? He can't find the angle. The LG was out. PSYGIB is very, very weak. NOSFA grabbing those time shards. He wants the spit back up. Smells PSYGIB. Needs to find the frag. 6:30 on the clock. Down by 1. NOSFA's very close to closing out this one to tie it.
Yeah, it's going to be about this Mega health, and then how PSYGIB's going to be able to play defensively. Going with the lightning gun. As it comes out, there's 1 point of health left, and there's a little tickle on the rear end. We are tied up, and NOSFA still isn't doing too bad with his health and armor. This is dangerous for PSYGIB. He's got to somehow turtle this a little bit, or do again a phenomenal job of having that long distance damage. He's been found. Rocket's not too bad. NOSFA again approaching with caution, but he's got him really weak. The rockets are just hitting flawlessly. PSYGIB finds a way back into the lead.
PSYGIB standing his ground, and NOSFA saying, please stop punching me, as rocket after rocket into Dinosaur's face. Takes the lead 3-2, but he does also take a rail. Needs to be careful. Here comes the peek play again. Spamming, getting a lot of damage, and actually gets gets a rail again. This is extremely weak for PSYGIB, but the peeker play was fantastic, doing a lot of damage, and he's going to deny the 50 shard as well. NOSFA reeling after that fight.
Yeah, he's in bad shape. There's time for him to recover with a couple of rotations. Ooh, the tail sticking out just for a second too long. But there's another light taken away. Mega's gone. Is this going to be a full rotation of items denied by PSYGIB? Now time is actually really ticking, because with this full rotation going, it means it's just scary for NOSFA. 50 points of health. He's just going to push right through. Lightning gun does connect. Rocket jump. Has to find some HP. Oh no, he manages to get himself the capsule, so he's reduced some of that extra damage. But the machine gun, okay, this has just got really interesting 40.
I like what he did with the rocket jump to get the Stroyant to stop the bleeding, but now with that, he was weak. The machine gun frag comes out from NOSFA on the refrag, and he's got a minute 30 to tie this up. He's got decent stack. He's got position on the heavy. PSYGIB trying to fight and do damage on this. He doesn't want to give it up for free. There's the peeker. Gets dealt with the rail. There's the rocket jump up. The LG's going to be fantastic from PSYGIB. So are the nails down to 8 HP. NOSFA so frustrated. He smelled it, but the defense from PSYGIB was fantastic.
The nails, man. Always respect the nail gun. Again, you've got to wait another rotation at least. NOSFA's like, please, can I find some kind of armor from absolutely anywhere? I need something to get behind. And you see he's just zoning out. He's like, can I have some armor of some sort? Okay, one rail. Chance for some good damage for NOSFA. Can land the shots, but he does pull back, saying, I don't want to overcommit right now. He can leave it to a sort of last-second comeback, given the nature of his champion.
PSYGIB playing a dangerous game here, popping the Pika really close to NOSFA. NOSFA's going to go up the jump pad. That's going to start some free LG right off the bat. The 50 shard's going to go to PSYGIB. Rockets into rail. 2 HP ties it at 4:30 seconds left.
Absolutely clutch from NOSFA with 2 points of health. But the thing is, look at his stack now. He's back to 100 health. At least for him, he's tied it up. But he is desperate for overtime. He's desperate to just get as many seconds on the clock as possible to work his way back into some form of control.
He just needs to stay alive 10 seconds. This is not how he wants to go down. Good predictive spit there as he heard PSYGIB coming around the corner. Is this fight for the Mega going to seal the deal? There's the Peekers as dealt with the rail. PSYGIB down below. Players slowing it down.
Yeah, that was almost a
very
big play.
tense.
Yeah, the big play from PSYGIB almost. He was looking down at the corridor. Defensive rail. NOSFA has to be really happy with the stack that he's got, but he's just hit 2 rails. He is railable himself, makes it around the corner in time. Oh, this is so scary.
Such a dangerous game. He's so railable. He has nowhere to go. PSYGIB going up the rail again to re-up. Mega's going to be up.
Wow.
NOSFA, that's going to give him some breathing.
Uh-oh. I don't know if PSYGIB actually wants to commit to this. There is a Pika. It's going to get eliminated, and both the players are going to back away from that. Rail shot lands. But Heavy still goes over. It might have a bit of a clash. As the split does connect directly. He's expecting this light armor to spawn in a second. Is he right on his read? He can't stay around for too long. But he does hear some audio cues, so he knows what kind of position he might be dealing with. Mega Health will be up shortly. And I believe he just heard him. Rail whiffs behind. NOSFA getting this line. Suddenly...
That worked out perfectly for NOSFA. Fortunate for him, stacks both light armors and the Mega. Can he hit a rail on the way out? No. Heavy does go to PSYGIB, but now the stack is looking a little bit better.
The emotions are tense at the moment. Whatever happens on the outcome of this is as high pressure as it gets. NOSFA's getting a good rotation on that light armor too, which is important, but he wants to back away. Can't afford to take another rail. Let the Mega Health go away. You probably can have time to pick up the heavy armor if the timing is on point. But he does get a misread on the direction that PSYGIB's coming from and does not take a risk of picking up the heavy and being left in a weak position. So Control is twisting and turning between the two players. Aggressive push, good defensive rail. That slows down the momentum. Careful there, missing a rail shot could be very dangerous. PSYGIB looking to push through. How is NOSFA going to be able to push onto this? The Pika comes out, he can't get around the corner in time, just about makes it. Rail shot misses, and somehow NOSFA's alive.
I don't know how that's possible, but he's staying alive. 2 minutes into sudden death now. He's going to be able to feed off of these armor shards and bubbles. There's the LG. Switch to rockets for some reason. He's going to have to get out of there. That's chase from PSYGIB coming out. The rail won't land, but the LG will melt him, and PSYGIB will take it.
Wow. The tension in that game, the back and forth control. But the push at the end from PSYGIB, there's